So you want to be an engineer. My name is Anna Shornack, and I am a mentor on the FRC Team 2530, or Inconceivable. I have a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from North Dakota State University. The purpose of this series is to provide information on the process of starting a career in engineering. In this part of the series, we will be talking about the different disciplines of engineering and the process of applying to college. The first question we need to answer is, what is engineering? Engineering is the application of science and mathematics by which the properties of matter and the sources of energy in nature are made useful to people. It is planning, designing, and executing a solution to an existing problem that will improve the lives of people. There are 5 major disciplines of engineering, which include electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, chemical engineering, and biomedical engineering. First, let's talk about electrical and computer engineering. As the name implies, there is a heavy emphasis on the electronics and electrical design of devices. Electrical and computer engineers design and implement devices, circuits, and systems for communication, computing, power, control, medical diagnostics, and transportation. Coursework in college focuses on circuit design, digital design, electronics, embedded systems, energy conversion, random processes, signals and systems, electromagnetics, and computer science. People who have obtained an electrical and computer engineering degree have gone on to become software developers, electrical and electronics engineers, computer programmers, computer and information system managers, management analysts, chief executives and legislators, computer system analysts, and physical scientists. Next is mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering is a branch of engineering concerned primarily with the industrial application of mechanics and with the production of tools, machinery, and their products. Coursework in college focuses mainly on mechanics, engineering systems, visual communication, materials, thermodynamics, fluid dynamics, machine design, product design, and development. People with mechanical engineering degrees have gone on to become aerospace engineers, automotive engineers, biomedical engineers, construction engineers, manufacturing engineers, management consultants, and entrepreneurs. Civil engineering is often compared to industrial engineering. Both generally deal with the design, construction, and maintenance of the physical and naturally built environment, including public works. Coursework in college typically focuses on materials, fluid mechanics, soil mechanics, structural engineering, graphic communications, environmental engineering, and transportation engineering. People with civil and industrial degrees have gone on to become surveyors, CAD technicians, building engineers, water hygiene engineers, urban planners, and field service engineers. Chemical engineering involves designing equipment, systems, and processes for refining raw materials and for mixing, compounding, and processing chemicals. As the name implies, this field of engineering is very chemistry-heavy, with coursework including organic chemistry, thermodynamics, kinetics, mass transport and separation processes, statistical mechanics, and process control. People with chemical engineering degrees have gone on to become process design engineers, environmental engineers, petroleum engineers, chemical plant engineers, nuclear engineers, and biotechnologists. Biomedical engineering is the application of engineering principles, practices, and technologies to the fields of medicine and biology, especially in solving problems and improving care. This discipline is more science-based, with coursework in biology, genetics, organic chemistry, anatomy, biomechanics, physiology, circuits, signals and systems, dynamics, and cell biology. People with biomedical engineering degrees have gone on to work in software and hardware engineering, medical device industry, innovative design and development, research and development, manufacturing, equipment testing and field servicing, clinical patient evaluation, and technical documentation. So I just threw a lot of information at you, but here are the important things that you need to know. Engineering degrees have a heavy emphasis on math. All of the courses we discussed rely on a strong understanding of math. Most engineering programs require students to take calculus, differential equations, and linear algebra. Engineering is really all about problem solving. Most of the descriptions focused on taking engineering principles and applying them to a problem that the world faces. Engineering is also a very broad field. The principles learned while completing an engineering degree can be applied to all fields, including medicine, business, marketing, and management. The next big question we have to answer is, where do you start in order to pursue a career in engineering? The first step is to obtain an undergraduate degree. This can be a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor of Arts. The difference between these two is the focus areas of the degree. A Bachelor of Arts typically requires more courses in the humanities, such as writing, art, history, philosophy, or religion, while a Bachelor of Science usually has more science and mathematics courses. On top of the 5 major disciplines that we discussed, there are currently over 40 different disciplines of engineering, including environmental engineering, aerospace engineering, industrial engineering, nuclear engineering, and agriculture engineering. The most important thing to consider is if the program you are applying to is ABET accredited. The accreditation ensures that a college or university program meets the quality standards of the profession for which that program prepares graduates. As of October 1st, 2020, ABET accredits a total of 4,307 programs at 846 colleges and universities in 41 countries around the world. Now I want to talk about applying to college. The first big step is to figure out what you can do now as a high schooler. The first thing is to figure out what colleges are looking for. You have probably heard the phrase well-rounded quite a bit. Colleges want you to excel at school, but you'll notice that that's at the bottom of the list. They want to make sure that you will contribute to the community of the university and the local community. They want you to be involved. The way to do this is to participate in extracurricular activities, volunteer, or have a part-time job. Leadership skills are also very important, but you can also be a leader without having the title of captain or group lead. You have most likely been told that college will be different from high school, and that is true. There are many things that you can do to make yourself more prepared, but I will talk about the things that I think that are most important. The first is to take advantage of any advanced courses that your school has to offer. This includes courses that offer college credit, such as AP courses or post-secondary education option courses. The second thing is to create good study habits. This means learning how to organize your notes, finding a space dedicated to studying, and once you get to college, finding a study group and know how the tutoring center works. The last thing is to learn how to create a schedule. You want to be able to dedicate time to homework, studying for exams, projects, group meetings, class, work, and things as simple as eating a meal and social activities. You need to find a balance that allows you to relax and have fun, but still allows you to complete the work you need to do for college. Now it's time to talk about the application for college. The application process seems to be straightforward, but there are a lot of things to think about. My first piece of advice is to apply to 7 schools, 2 reach schools, 3 intermediate schools, and 2 safety schools. There are a lot of things to consider when choosing what schools to apply for. First, you want to research the program that you are interested in. Take a look at the course requirements and the other expectations of the college. Some programs may require you to pick a specialty, so you want to ensure that at least one of the options suits your interest. All programs require students to take electives, so you may want to check and see if the elective courses that are offered seem interesting to you. The second thing I would look at is the location of the college. This will be where you spend the next 4 or 5 years of your life. You want to make sure that you will be in an environment that will make you happy. Take note of what your hobbies or interests are and see if there are places near the college that offer you the opportunity to participate in them. Ask yourself if you would rather be in a small town or a big city. Do you want to attend a big school or a small school? This leads into asking yourself what aspects of the college experience are important to you. If there is something that is really important to you, like accessing free tutoring, check to make sure that the school has it. The last thing that I would look at are the scholarship opportunities. Some colleges have better access to internal scholarships than others. There are a lot of scholarships that are available to specific majors and demographics. There are a lot of great resources online to help you narrow down your list of colleges to apply for. We have linked a few of the resources down below. The process of submitting an application is pretty simple. Most applications open in October, and the deadline is around the 1st of December. Some schools have earlier deadlines for early admittance or extra scholarship opportunities. A useful tool is the Common Application, or CommonApp, which is linked down below. This platform allows you to fill out one application and submit it to multiple schools. A wide range of schools accept applications from CommonApp, including Ivy League schools. Most state university systems have their own application process. Submitting an application does have a cost, but it averages around $43. Some of the more elite schools will charge more, with the prices going up to around $100. Depending on the tax information that you filed for the previous year, there is an option to have the application fee waived. The elements of the application include a personal statement, transcripts, test scores, recommendation letters, and a list of extracurricular activities. Not every college requires a personal statement and letters of recommendation, but if they do, they are important aspects of your application. The personal statement allows the admissions committee to get to know you as a person. Don't be afraid to get personal. Talk about unique experiences, but don't lie or exaggerate. The people reading your statement will have read thousands before yours, so they will be able to tell when you aren't being honest. Some examples of what to talk about are your roles on the team, any hardships you have faced, leadership opportunities and what you have learned from them, and volunteer opportunities and how they have impacted your outlook on life. Letters of recommendation are important because they are an outside perspective on who you are. Don't forget to ask for letters of recommendation early. The people you want to ask are most likely very busy and need time to draft your letter. Make sure to let them know about the program and the school that you are applying for. You can give them a resume so they have a better idea of all of the things that you were involved in. Be sure to pick people who know you, which means to choose people who interact with you on a normal basis. This allows them to offer a meaningful letter that will reflect on you as a person and not on who you were in one specific environment. For example, you most likely have several mentors who would be willing to write you letters of recommendation. When it comes to declaring a major, there are a few different routes that you can take. Most colleges require you to declare a specific major upon submitting your application. Some colleges offer the opportunity to apply to the College of Engineering as a general engineering major and pick a specific discipline after a year of introductory courses. Minors offer the opportunity to specialize in your field. For example, I was an electrical engineering major and decided to minor in biomedical engineering. If there is something that piques your interest, you should check with the college and see if there is a minor available, even if it is outside of the scope of engineering. There is an option to change your major later on. If you find out that the discipline of engineering you are studying is not right for you, you can approach an administrator to start the process of switching your major. Changing your major doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in college longer. If you are staying within the College of Engineering, you may have credits that transfer over. Work with department heads and the dean of the college to get credits to transfer from one major to another. There are a lot of things to consider when applying to college. There is a lot of pressure to obtain a high GPA and ACT scores. While these numbers matter, they are just numbers. Higher GPAs and ACT scores do tend to lead to more merit-based scholarship opportunities. 4-year accredited programs are similar across all schools, so focus on the degree or program rather than the reputation of the college. Something to keep in mind is that bigger schools often have courses that are taught by the TAs rather than the professor. Also check to see if your state has a reciprocity program with neighboring states. For example, Minnesota has reciprocity with North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. This means we have discounted tuition at the state schools despite being out of state. There are also a lot of scholarship opportunities available. Most workplaces have scholarships for dependents of their employees. Many local organizations also offer scholarships to graduating seniors. Be sure to check in with the Financial Aid Office to find out about internal scholarship opportunities. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities available for just about anything, so make sure to look online. We have linked a great resource from the U.S. Department of Labor down below. Community and technical college courses are a cheaper way to complete your general education requirements. Most of these credits transfer to the state universities that are within the same state as the community college. You can also obtain an associate's degree by completing these courses at a community college. Something to think about for further down the road is a PE licensure, which is the engineering profession's highest standard of competence and a symbol of achievement and assurance of quality. Another thing is life planning. Make sure that you begin to think about retirement, investing, and your credit score. These will impact your life as you move from being a college student to a career professional. Not all colleges require a resume, but it's always good to submit a resume if it's an option. There is a difference between a resume and a CV. A good way to think about it is a resume is a snapshot of your life, while a CV tells the story of your life. A resume will be specific for the job that you are applying for and will constantly be updated with the most recent information. A CV will generally remain the same, and as new things arise, they will get added to the CV. The formatting for a resume is dependent on the field, while a CV is more formal and formatting is consistent across most fields. There are a few important things to keep in mind while you are in college. The first thing is to apply for the FAFSA yearly. Before each year of college, you can apply for federal grants, work study, and loans through the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. Your college uses your FAFSA data to determine your federal aid eligibility. There are a lot of great resources online that explain the FAFSA, and we have linked the FAFSA application down below. Make sure to check the length and requirements of your scholarships. Some scholarships cover 4 years of college, while others only cover a year or a semester. There are a few scholarships out there that have requirements such as maintaining a full-time status or obtaining a certain GPA every semester to remain eligible. The most important thing to remember is that it is not a set rule that you have to graduate in 4 years. College is difficult, and engineering degrees are arguably some of the most difficult degrees to get. You may find that some of the engineering courses that you will take will be more difficult than any course you have ever taken. Failure doesn't define you, but how you react to failure does. It is important that you take any experience that you consider to be a failure and turn it into a learning experience. The average graduation time for engineering students is 5 years, but it is okay if it takes longer. In the end, you will still have a degree. The last thing that I will leave you with is that you make your own opportunities. If you want something, you have to strive for it. No one is ever going to hand you an opportunity. Make sure that you take advantage of every opportunity that you have to learn and grow as both a person and a professional. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this to be helpful. The next part of our series will talk about internships, co-ops, and applying for a job in the industry.